What's up everybody, it's H2To, and today we're talking about the Sunshine State, Florida. You know it for its beaches, theme parks, and maybe even its crazy news headlines. But what's it really like living there? We're diving deep into 5 terrifying things you need to know before you even think about packing those moving boxes. We're talking massive storms, prehistoric creatures lurking in the water, and a cost of living that might make you faint. Florida is basically an adventure game waiting to happen. So, if you're brave enough to stick around, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and let's get into the wild world of Florida living. First up, we've got hurricanes. These aren't your average rainstorms, guys. Winds can reach over 150 miles per hour, torrential downpours flood neighborhoods, and enough force to turn your house into rubble. Hurricane season lasts 6 months in Florida, from June to November. Imagine living life on the edge for half the year, constantly checking weather reports, boarding up your windows, and hoping for the best. It's like playing a giant game of natural disaster roulette. They even have hurricane parties down there. I guess when life gives you lemons, you make hurricane margaritas? But seriously, hurricanes are no joke. So if you're thinking about moving to Florida, make sure you're prepared for the possibility of facing one of these monster storms. Next up on our list of Florida's terrifying treasures, alligators. These guys are like the dinosaurs of our time, massive, scaly, and always hungry. And guess what? They live in Florida. Over 1.3 million alligators roam the state, chilling in swamps, lakes, golf courses, you name it, they've probably been there.
How dangerous can they really be? They're just big lizards, right? Wrong! These guys can grow up to 15 feet long and weigh over 1,000 pounds. They've got powerful jaws that can snap a turtle shell in half like it's nothing. And they're surprisingly fast on land. Alligator attacks are relatively rare, but that doesn't mean you should let your guard down. Be aware of your surroundings, keep your distance from any bodies of water, and whatever you do, don't feed the gators.
Okay, let's talk about the weather again, because Florida is nothing if not consistent. We've covered hurricanes, but now it's time for round 2, the heat and humidity. Imagine stepping outside and instantly feeling like you're trapped in a sauna. That's Florida in a nutshell. The humidity is no joke, guys. It's like walking through a wall of wet cotton balls 24/7. You'll sweat just thinking about going outside. And don't even get me started on the sunburn potential. Florida's sun is brutal. So if you're not slathering on the SPF 100 every 5 minutes, you're basically asking to turn into a lobster.
With temperatures soaring into the 90s for months on end, you'll be blasting that AC all day, every day. So, what's the takeaway here? If you're moving to Florida, invest in a good deodorant, stock up on sunscreen, and get ready to embrace the sweat life.
Okay, this next one is straight out of a nightmare, Sinkholes. Imagine just minding your own business, walking down the street, when suddenly the ground opens up and swallows you whole. Sounds terrifying, right? Well, in Florida, it's a real possibility. Florida sits on a bed of porous limestone, which is basically a fancy way of saying the ground is full of holes, and when groundwater flows through these holes, it can erode the limestone, creating underground cavities. And guess what happens when those cavities get too big? Yep, the ground collapses in on itself, creating a sinkhole. These things can be massive, swallowing up cars, houses, even entire swimming pools.
And the worst part is, they can happen anywhere, anytime. So if you're moving to Florida, you might want to invest in some good sinkhole insurance.
All right, let's talk money. Florida may seem like a tropical paradise, but that paradise comes with a hefty price tag. Sure, there's no state income tax, which is a nice perk. But don't let that fool you, because the cost of living in Florida, especially in popular areas, is sky high. We're talking about housing costs that'll make your jaw drop, property taxes that'll make you cry, and insurance premiums that'll make you question your sanity.
So before you pack your bags and head for the Sunshine State, make sure you've got a solid financial plan in place. Because trust me, the last thing you want is to be stuck in paradise with empty pockets. So, there you have it, folks. 5 terrifying things to know before moving to Florida. From hurricanes and alligators to sinkholes and the high cost of living, Florida definitely keeps things interesting. But hey, every state has its quirks, right? At the end of the day, whether or not you decide to move to Florida is up to you. Just make sure you're prepared for the challenges that come with living in this unique and sometimes unpredictable state. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos.